And here we are for the final deck of We Must Tell the Emperor. Welcome everybody, this is the third deck. Happy to be here in this deck because it's not automatic, as you could notice from our last time we placed. And let's play the game, which was yesterday. Let's say hello to everybody in the chat. We have Thomas Harkless, General Chaos is in the house, the one and only Ben Dover, Brian Lindsay from Memphis, Tennessee, and William Arends from Kitchener, Ontario. We also have Alan Salazar. Welcome, Alan. And from Australia, Excelsior. Buenos dias, eso es así. And we have Super Eagle One also. Welcome. So we are going to continue with play, but first I want to give a public service announcement. One of my viewers wrote to me and informed me that this game is available online for like a demo. It's a 30% of the game demo. And you can find that in Feather River College's website under the history section here. You go down to the part that says, see here, can't see it, Games of History Education. And there you see various game projects. They're there. And they have various games, including We Must Tell the Emperor. If I can find it here, here you have the list of games. Israeli Independence, We Must Tell the Emperor here. You can play 30% of the game, so it's better than nothing, you know? And maybe this video and some awareness can create the conditions for this game to be reprinted. I really don't know what's preventing that. So I want to thank Bruce for that. Thank you, Bruce. And we have from Mijas, province of Malaga, Francisco Javier Ruiz Gomez. Welcome. So let's go to the map. Have the map set up. We'll start our last deck. Before we do, let's take a look at the situation. We have Nimitz in his number 6 spot, New Hebrides, and we have a +1 oil production modifier there. We have MacArthur in his number 4 spot, Hollandia. And we have the British, who were practically stagnant in Malaya. And the Chinese, which gave us a scare, reaching Manchukuo, are in Hubei, and their strength has diminished to 3. Now, in this turn, we can bring these withdrawal markers. We place them on the Army-Navy track, and what happens is that we get an extra Army-Navy point. The downside is it reduces gradually the amount of Navy points we can store. There's also kamikazes, and there's also, you got to keep an eye on any American army that reaches its number 1 spot. Because if that happens and there's another army, then we have to roll to see if we have our island defense, home island defense for Japan. It's not automatic, and that happens in the housekeeping phase. Hopefully it won't happen. Most likely it will. So we got our deck set up, and this card is a seeded card, so I'm going to place it here, and I'm going to shuffle the remaining deck. So let's see. I'm not a great shuffler, as you can see. Some people just, I think my hands are too big. Okay. There we go. Okay, so we go to our first card, and that's going to be automatically Infall and Kohima. Let's take a closer look at that card. Oops. There you go. Military advances by the British China, and Nimitz. So that's pretty substantial there. The British advance into British Borneo, their number 2 spot. We also have advances by the Chinese, and they move now to Peking. Oops, there we go. And we also have an advance by Nimitz. So Nimitz advances now into the Solomons. Those were the military advances. Now we have resources. We lose 2 Army Navy and 1 prestige. That's not good. You can see here, Army Navy started at 2. So now with that loss, Army Navy falls to 0. And now we have something to worry about. And also we have prestige falling by 1. So that one goes to 2. Now we go to the orders phase, and orders 4 actions, we'll take it. And we have +1 against China. And now we have to flip the American armies, their fronts, to their 4 sides. So now Nimitz is a more formidable foe. He's at 4. And the same thing happens with MacArthur. Okay, so we had our orders, we flipped the American forts, so we now take our 4 actions. And of course, Army Navy, we don't want it there in that 0 because that means we can only attack 1 front as long as that marker is there. So this is a no-brainer. The first action is to push that Army Navy marker, 1 box. So here we go, 1d6. And the roll is a 5. It was almost a 1. So Army Navy goes up by 1. You may revisit Army Navy. You have that +1 against Nimitz. There, he just advanced. It's a terrible thing to waste, that oil production +1, because we're going to have that -2 subcard coming up anytime. So let's go against Nimitz, our second action. And that is also a 6. So Nimitz goes back to New Hebrides. We got 2 actions left. 2 actions left. Okay. Maybe we should try to get an Army Navy point just to not be at that number 1 spot, because it's uncomfortable. Every time it goes down to 0, it's just 1 attack. And then we can come back and attack the Chinese. So here we go. Army Navy. And that's a failure. So now the decision is, do we go for another Army Navy and try to prevent that marker going to 0 on the next turn? We're going to have a +1 because of the oil anyway. Or do we attack the Chinese? I think we should go for the Army Navy. It's a pain in the ass when that thing goes down to 0. So here we go, Army Navy. And this time it's successful. So Army Navy level goes to 2. That was our last action. 2, 2, 6. And we have our first housekeeping of the night. And we get to place our production marker. Oil production. And bear in mind, we're playing with the expansion. That means that the sequence of play adds 2 more phases to the game. During the orders phase, we have available the withdrawal action. Of course, we've said that before. And then we check for pre-invasion preparation in the housekeeping phase. That's whenever an American army is in a number 1 spot and there's another allied army of whichever kind in another number 1 spot. Okay, let's see where we place our marker. I want to keep those American armies away. I think MacArthur's going to get this one. We place the marker there with MacArthur. Okay, now we go to the next card. Soviet unit declares war. This is another expansion card. This card will not apply now. Look at the yellow text. It says, do not perform this card if 4 or more other unplayed cards remain. 19 cards remain. So we place this card in the bottom of the pile instead. Now, this is not going to be the last card. It's going to be the unconditional surrender card. But this is going to be the last card. And it's good to know that the Russians appear next to last than 4 cards remaining in the deck. So that's not bad. It's a good outcome. So let's flip the next card. We have our first battle. Battle for Okinawa. But first we have some military advances. Advances by Britain, MacArthur, and Nimitz. Good thing we place that +1 on MacArthur. Okay, so the British are now knocking the door in Hong Kong. MacArthur now advances into Mindanao. It's a number 3 spot. And Nimitz in New Hebrides now advances to the Solomons. That was a military phase. Resources, lose 2 and 2. I was expecting 1 and 1. Oh boy. Oh boy, 2 and 2. Yep. And it's going to be both at 0. This is terrible. We have a turn to correct that. So let's move these. So we have Army, Navy, and Prestige going down to 0. So that means what it says there, end of turn. We got until the end of the turn to defeat. It's a defeat if both are at 0. Boy, that was a tough one. So that was like the worst resources phase in the game. Now we go to the orders. There's a +1 against the British, who are in the number 1 spot. And there's a -1 against Nimitz, who is in his number 5 spot, with Solomon. And now we check the battle table. This is the Battle of Okinawa. So Okinawa is down here. We got 4 actions. I think we have to take it because we can afford to lose 1 oil. It hurts because we lose that +1. But we could get 1 prestige, or we push Nimitz back. If we get the prestige, we don't have to spend an action for it. So it's 4 actions. We're going to spend our first action in the Battle for Okinawa, and here we go. And that's a 3 +1 prestige. That's good. It comes in the nick of time. So prestige increases now to 1. You have 3 actions left. Now we got to get Army Navy out of that box too. Man, so many +1s, but let's get that Army Navy out of there. So here we go. Army Navy. And it's a 6. So we're at 1-1 with Army Navy and oil. 2 actions left. Inclined to try to push somebody back, especially the British in that #1 spot. Let's get the British out of there. They're just too close. Okay, we got a +1 against the British. Here we go. And it's 6 + 1, 7. British go back to British Borneo. There they are. 1 action left. And I'm inclined to try to get a resource. I know MacArthur is in his 3 spot. See, we could get, I think it's the time to use that withdrawal, especially now that China didn't advance, and a withdrawal is a surefire thing. So we're going to use our action, take our first withdrawal marker, we place it in the #6 box, and that increases Army Navy level to 2. Our Army Navy is now to 2. Okay, that was our last action, and we didn't have to roll for it. Okay, so that's the end of orders. Housekeeping, we still have our oil production, so see where we're going to put it. Okay, we're going to place our oil production marker here with MacArthur. He's in his #3 spot. And the thing is, once he's in that #2 spot, it's really hard to get him out. That was housekeeping. Now we go to the headline phase. And our next card is another one that's not going to apply now. Unconditional surrender. Again, we don't perform this card. This is the last card. So we place it in the bottom of the pile. Okay, now we go to the next card. This one will apply. This is the one that hurts. B-29 fire bomb rates, because we pulled it early in the deck, it's going to come back. So look at this. We have, oh boy, military advances by 1 allied army of our choice. We'll lose a prestige, and then we have to reshuffle it eventually into the draw pile. So let's go to the military advances first. Got to pick 1 army to advance. Man, I'd hate to advance Nimitz, but you don't want to place the Brits in their #2 spot, nor in their #1 spot, nor the Chinese either. And MacArthur, so Nimitz will be, so Nimitz moves into the Marshalls. Now we go to resources. We lose 1 prestige. Now you see the prestige goes down to 0. Prestige, you got to roll for it. That means it's not a surefire thing. A good thing we still have our oil, so taking advantage of that. And now we have just one action, +1 for Army Navy. Actually want to take it. -2 for a prestige roll. I guess we won't be rolling for prestige. And one action, and we reshuffle into the draw pile if 4 or more cards remain. Let's do that now so that we don't forget. Okay, so we take this card and we reshuffle it into the draw pile. Here we go. There's no limit on the number of times this card can show up. Okay. Okay. We have just one action. Prestige is at 0 with a -2. Army Navy is at 3. Army Navy, no. Army Navy is at 2. The Prestige, we would need to roll a 6. And the thing is, we leave it there at 0, and then we're called to lose Prestige. We have to take it from Army Navy. So I think we're going to roll for Army Navy or try to push MacArthur back. He's at number 3. I'm inclined to go for Army Navy because at least having 1 in the box is not that bad, especially Prestige. So we're going to roll for Army Navy. Here we go. Sole action. And 3 + 1, 4. So the marker was worth it. And we have 3 Army Navy points. And that's all our actions. Housekeeping, we get our +1 marker. Let me remove first the other markers. Now we got housekeeping. We get our marker back. I didn't apply the Prestige -2. Yes, I did. It went down to 0. No, because that's the card that I shuffled. Went down to 0. Just a second. Let me look for the card. That was the U.S. bombing raids. Yeah, I had applied from the Battle of Okinawa. Yeah, I did. And oh, yes, I have to lose. Yeah, you got a point. I have to lose a Prestige. Don't have Prestige. So Army Navy goes down to 2. You're right. Yep. Shuffle again. Shuffle again. We have no actions. We already took it with the Army Navy. So we did housekeeping. We have to place our +1. It's going to be MacArthur. Okay. What are the next card? Headline phase. U.S. submarine campaign continues. And this is very early for this. Military advances by all Allied armies. And then we put the sub marker in there. So man, that sucks. Let me take a picture of this card. Military advances by all armies. This means China advances. And that means that we cannot do a withdrawal. Sorry about that. China advances to Manchukuo, #1 spot. The British advance to Hong Kong, their #1 spot. MacArthur advances into Luzon, his #2 spot. And Nimitz, we suffered so much to push him back, now goes to the Marianas, his #3 spot. Now we move the U.S. sub-marker to its #1 spot. So we have a marker here. It goes to #2. Now U.S. subs is at #2. Our resources are 206. And we have resources now. One of our drink today is a little bit of champagne. You have to lose 2 oil, yeah. Where's resources? Yep. We lose 2 oil. So oil goes down from 6 to 4. There it is. Man, now we have 3 actions. And now oil is really hard to get. 2 armies in their #1 spots. MacArthur in his #2 spot. Yeah. Boy, it sucks. And the Chinese and the Brits are equally easy to push back. They're 3s. 3 actions. In a perfect world, we could, I don't know, roll for prestige and then go after the armies. It's a pity. MacArthur is no modification. Let's roll first for prestige and see what happens, because that 0 there is bad. It's going to rob our other resources whenever prestige is called for. So here we go. First roll for prestige. And it's a 4. Prestige is out of the 0 box at #1. 2 actions left. Time to push an army back. British, the Chinese. It's just too many, yes, what you say. But if MacArthur advances into the #1 box, it's going to get really ugly. Let's try to push one of those armies in their #1 box back. I have no clue. I'm going to roll a die in a 1 to 3. We're going to try to push the Chinese, otherwise the British. Okay, we're going to try to push the British back. Okay, so here we go. We roll 1d6 against the British. And it's a 4. So the Brits go back to British Borneo. We have 1 action left. See, the Chinese are in the #1 spot. But MacArthur creates more problems if he gets to his #1 spot. And it's a 50-50 chance against MacArthur. It's a 66% chance against the Chinese. Yeah, I'm going to go try to push MacArthur back. Because if MacArthur in the #1 spot, we may be robbed of the home defenses and the banzai capability. If only the Chinese advance, we have resources to push them back. So we got MacArthur. Here we go, 1d6. Our first one of the night. So there goes that. That was the orders phase. Housekeeping, and we don't have a +1 for resources. So here we go. Housekeeping. Go to our next card. Next card is withdrawal from China. And China advances. Yeah, you were right, General Chaos. Yeah, should have probably go for that other one army, but it wouldn't have advanced anyway, so. So China advances. Military advances by Nimitz in China. Means that Nimitz is now at Iwo Jima. Man, this game is deteriorating fast. And the Chinese enter. Japanese home islands. We have our home island defense. Oh, if not, yeah. Oh, we place a 3 kamikaze. Yeah, that's right. When MacArthur advance, if not already received via card 48, when an American unit advances or controls its 2 space during late war only, we place a 3 kamikazes in the available box. Yep, so let's do that. Place them here. Good point, Brian, thank you. So we got the kamikazes, we can use them for a free battle table roll. Free attack, but versus an island, and a +1 for any attack action against an island. So to push the Chinese, we can't use them. But first, we have our home defenses. If we roll a 1 to 3, the Chinese go back to Manchukuo. So here we go. And it's a 1. A 1. Nice. The Chinese are back in Manchukuo. Boy, that was the advances, right? Yep. Now we go to resources. Gain Army Navy, lose 1 prestige. So it's going to be a 0 net effect. Okay. We gain an Army Navy. Look what's going to happen. Goes up to 3, but oops. Goes up to 3, but we lose a prestige. It goes down to 0. So okay, so we've got to be careful of that. 0 prestige. Okay, orders, 3 actions. No troop withdrawals from China. I know, yeah. Are allowed for the rest of the game. Oh, no. Oh, so that means we take these guys out for good. Take care, fellas. Oh, man. We have 3 actions. Ouch. Still got the Chinese in that number 1 spot. It's time to push him back. MacArthur's a number 2. We don't have any bonuses against MacArthur, so he's a 6 to push back. Good thing we placed that island defense marker there in Formosa. Resource-wise, we should try to get a prestige. But let's try to push that Chinese army back. We may not be as lucky as we were before. So, yes, I wish I knew how to say that sucks in Japanese. Okay, so here we go. Our first action, let's push Chinese back, and that's a 4, yes. And they go back to Peking. Now 2 actions left. Should try to get prestige. Should give it a shot. I want to keep that there in 0. Here we go. Let's get some prestige. And that's a fail. One action left. Oil is tough to get now. Need a 5 or a 6 to get oil. And I think we got to go for prestige. I think there's no other reasonable solution with all those armies nearing in. Last roll, prestige. Here we go. And another one. And the ones are starting to show up. It's the end of our orders phase. Housekeeping. So prestige is at 0. Gotta watch out. We go to the next card. Headline phase. And the next card is I have returned, you don't say. So we got a military advance by MacArthur. That's not the card. This is the card. Okay, now let's do that military advance. Now MacArthur goes to his number 1 spot. Oh boy. Now we have our island fort defense roll. We need 1 or 2 to push him back. Here we go. Oh, it's almost there. 6, so that fails. That means that MacArthur is in his number 1 spot. There's no other army in another number 1 spot, which triggers the check to see if we have our home island defense for Japan. So that hasn't happened yet, but just wait a little while. Okay, so that was the military phase. Resources, at least we don't lose any resources, and we have 3 actions. Prestige is at 0. We got to get MacArthur out of there. MacArthur is a 5 and a 6. Yeah. So our first roll is going to be MacArthur. Here we go. The roll is a 3. That's a fail. 2 actions left. Thing is, if MacArthur stays there in the housekeeping phase, that fortification marker goes back to the available box. But the best use is there. We got to push MacArthur back. Even prestige is still at 0, I know. Let's go, MacArthur. Here we go. And a 3. Also a failure. Oh boy. Yeah, we're going to have to use a kamikaze here. Or a +1 die roll. And it's going to have to be against MacArthur. This is an island space. So let's use our third action against MacArthur with the kamikaze. Here we go. 4 + 1, 5. Finally, MacArthur goes back to Luzon. And we spent our first kamikaze, and it was well spent, but we burned our 3 actions. Okay, so that's the end of our housekeeping phase. We have 2 of our action phase. Housekeeping. Okay. I got prestige at 0. Here we go. Headline phase. Here we go. Next card is 1,000 bomber raid. I don't like that sound of that. Let's take a closer look. It says roll a die. On a 1 or 2, the British do not advance. On a 3, China does not advance. On a 4, MacArthur does not advance. On a 5, Nimitz does not advance. And on a 6, all Allied armies advance. It's basically who doesn't advance with a chance that everybody will advance. Okay, so here we go. And 1. The British don't advance, everybody else advances. Okay, that's not good. So the British don't advance, but Nimitz advances, to his #1 spot. And MacArthur advances to his #1 spot. Now we have to do the island roll. And with 2 armies in their #1 spot, the home island defense is in danger, but it's not 2 armies, it's 3 armies now, with the Chinese also in Manchukuo. This looks pretty bad. So now we roll to see the 4th die roll for MacArthur. We need a 1 or a 2. Here we go. And it's a 6, so that fails. And that means that we will be checking during the home housekeeping phase, and that's why we turn 90 degrees the home island marker. We will be checking for our pre-invasion preparation, which is not good. Oh, but I think we will be checking unless we can push back all those armies. It's going to be tough. Yeah. So resources, no resources, lost 3 actions, and -1 to all resource die rolls. Okay, let me see here. This thing about the yes, check to see if at least 1 American army and 1 other unit is in their number one box. That happened. We flipped it. But you check to see during the housekeeping phase. So in theory, if we pushed everybody back, then those conditions don't apply. So they don't apply at this time. We have our 3 actions, and we're going to try to push back some armies. Start with MacArthur. We can use our second kamikaze to get that +1, so we will do so. Place him here. Drink more for better dice rolls. I need some sake. Okay, here we go. MacArthur, let's push him back. We got a +1, 4, +1, 5. Yes! Boy, the Divine Wind, those guys have earned heaven today. Wow. Still got 1 kamikaze left. That was our first action. But still, we have an American army and some other army there, so we got to push back Nimitz for that condition not to, only 1 kami. We can't use the other kami now. You're right. So, gonna have to try to push Nimitz back. So here we go against Nimitz. And it's a 5, and Nimitz goes back to Iwo Jima. Boy, 1 action left. Prestige is at 0, but all resources have a -1 die roll modifier. It's not a good time to roll for resources. We don't have the availability of Army Navy points through troop withdrawals. Oil is now at -3. Forget it. We would need a 6 for that. So we got to push somebody back. MacArthur's still in his 2 spot. That would be a 6 to push him back. Nimitz would be a 5 to 6. The Chinese, maybe we want to push the Chinese back, right? Let's do that. Here we go. Go against Chiang Kai-shek. And that's a 1, so that is a failure. And that's the end of, gotta update this thing, our orders phase. Now we go to housekeeping. So we rotate MacArthur back and Nimitz when we push back. Okay. Housekeeping phase done. Now we go to the next phase. First phase, headline phase. Next card. Siege of Myitkyina. Advances by the British and Chiang Kai-shek. That's our military action here. Okay, so we have the British this time advancing on Hong Kong, and the Chinese once again advance into the Japanese home islands, and we roll for island defense. Yeah, and we can't use the kamikazes for this. They're on their own here. Yeah, kamikazes are only for, you get a free battle roll, free attack versus an island, or +1, or attack action. So we need a 1 to 3 to push Chiang Kai-shek back. Here we go. And it's a 2, so it's successful. And he remains in Manchukuo. Wow. That was something. So, resources. Lose a prestige. Prestige is at 0. You know what that means? It means that because prestige is at 0, now Army Navy goes down to 2. But we have 3 actions. Those, wait a second here. Now those markers were not supposed to be there. We lost the Army Navy. It was at 3, we moved it to 2, and these markers are those that remain from the prior card, right? Let me see. Yeah, so those don't apply. So we can roll for resources. It was a crappy housekeeping I did the last time. Chinese in 1 spot, British also, the Americans in number 2. 3 actions. This is something. I'm get a sip of this to see some inspiration. Got to push people back. The Brits and the Chinese are at 3. Try to push at least one of them back first. Let's go against the Chinese. First die roll. Here we go. And the roll is a 2. And that is a failure. Can't use the kamikazes against anybody except MacArthur, but MacArthur is in number 2 spot. Okay, let's try to push the British back. Roll 1d6. And that's a 3. That's also a failure. 1 action left. Now what happens is, if prestige is at 0, yeah, we're going to lose Army Navy. I think we got to push somebody back. Let's go for the Chinese. Here we go. And finally, the Chinese go back to Peking. Man, it's taking a lot of actions to push armies back. That's the end of the orders phase. Housekeeping. You rotate the Chinese back. There's no die roll modifier markers. Take off the map. How many cards are we into this thing? We've played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 13 cards to go. Okay. Headline phase. Here we go. Next card. Philippines liberation. A military advance by MacArthur, and we're going to lose a prestige too. Let's do the military advance first. So MacArthur advances once again on Formosa. Now we got to roll for our fourth defense. You need a 1 or a 2, and it's a 5, so that fails. MacArthur has succeeded in thwarting our defense roll. Okay. Now resources. We lose 1 prestige. And prestige is at 0. So that means that now we have to lose an Army-Navy point. And Army-Navy dangerously goes down to 1. 104. Ouch. Orders 3 actions. There's a -1 for Army-Navy rolls and oil rolls. I think we forgot about oil a long time ago. 3 actions. Got to push MacArthur back. And I think we're going to have to use our last warrior of the divine wind. So we're bringing on our last kamikaze. Try to push MacArthur back to Luzon. So here we go. We got a +1, +3. No, that fails. And the last kamikaze is Gonzo. And the thing is, with MacArthur in that #1 spot, it's going to trigger the pre-invasion preparation. So we got to push him back. I mean, it's easier to push back the Chinese and leave MacArthur also there, and it wouldn't trigger the preparation. Yeah, I think we should give it a shot. Push the Chinese back. They're a little easier. Oh no, the Chinese are in #2 spot. Wait, leave the Chinese alone. Let's go. Let's go again against MacArthur. This time we need a 5 or a 6. Here we go against MacArthur. And oh no. Jeez. It was almost there. 1 action left. Prestige at 0. Army, Navy at 0. And Nimitz will be in the 1 spot soon. Yeah. So the thing is, do we try to get Prestige or Army, Navy with... No, I think we got to push MacArthur back, guys. Resources is great, but can't have 2 American armies in that #1 spot. That's going to spell doom early on. So our last action, MacArthur, here we go. And it's a 4, so that failed. It's going to be a short game tonight, fellas. It was great knowing you. Thanks for tuning in. Resources. Well, we were in the orders phase. Now we go to housekeeping. We'll do it live here. And housekeeping, the pre-invasion preparation is not triggered yet with 1 American army there. So the +1s, we take the ones, the markers, the -1s for the resources. Okay. And that's the situation. Now we go to the next card. Headline phase. The road to Mandalay advances by the British and the Chinese. Uh-oh. So we got advances by the British and the Chinese. So the British our first. We're going to test our home island defenses. They're in there. Oh, wait a second. I was wrong. No, I was wrong. We got to backtrack. The home preparation phase would apply. Yes. Yep. Prep is now. Wait. Hold on that card. We got preparation here. Let me get my dog out. He's knocking on the door. Just a second. Okay. Okay, preparation is now. So we flip that marker and we have to roll higher than 4 in order to flip back that marker to its home island defense. So that happens now. Here we go. It stays like that. That means we have no home island defense and no banzai attacks. Okay, so now we are in the military advance or military phase, and the Brits, now they advance into Japan, actually, and the Chinese too. So we have one turn to push both out. If we don't push them out, that's it. Or it's over right now. Is it instantly? Let me see how it says. Oh boy. Let me see. Housekeeping, kamikazes, winning the game, losing the, where's losing the, losing the game? There are 2 ways to lose. You suffer a complete collapse if all 3 sources are at 0, no. If there's still an unplayed early worker, no wait. You are defeated if during the Japanese defeat step of the housekeeping phase, an allied unit occupies the Japanese home islands, or both the Army, Navy, and Prestige are at 0. So we got our turn still. We haven't lost yet. Okay. So that was advances. We lose a resource now. Resource phase. We lose a prestige. Oh, you're going to see. You're going to love this. Oh, no. We lose prestige. We don't have prestige, so we lose Army, Navy. So we have to get one of those out there. We only have 1 attack. We have until the end of the turn to fix that problem too. That was resources. Now we have 3 actions, -1 against the British, +1 against China, and -1 for Army, Navy, and oil. Yeah, this is going to be hard. This is a shot from half court. 3 actions. Thing is, we can only make 1 attack as long as Army, Navy is at 0. So we're going to try to push one of these armies back. We need all 3 actions to be successful. We roll against the Chinese, try to push them back. Then Army, Navy, get it to 1. And then we go against the British, and we need a 5 and a 6. So here we go. Everything has to succeed. Salud, everybody. Here we go against the Chinese. 5 + 1, 6. So far, so good. Chinese go back to Manchukuo. Now we have to go to Army Navy and get it out of there. There's a -1. We need a 6 or a 5. If not, there's no tomorrow. Here we go. And we got a 5, -1, 4. So Army Navy goes to 1. We're down to our last action against the Brits. We have a -1 against the Brits. So we need a 6 or a 5. Yeah, this is sweating bullets here. 6 or a 5. Here we go against the Brits. And game over, folks. That's it. And the Brits have conquered the Japanese islands in this game of We Must Tell the Emperor. I'm going to let General Chaos, you can go and tell the Emperor, okay? So that's it. Man. So how many cards did we go into? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We were defeated in the 9th card. We didn't complete the 10th card. If we would have, the 10th card is the halfway point of this last deck. But it was good. It was a good exercise. You can see how you're sweating bullets here with this 3rd deck. That's why everybody says the real game is in the 3rd deck, and I can see, but you have to accumulate resources. You have to accumulate resources, and that happens through the whole game. The atomic mini deck is not needed. No. Well, something good. No atom bombs this time. So that's it. That's it. This is a game that should get a reprint. I would love to have a reprint. I can imagine wooden pieces. I mean, a deluxe version, mounted map board, really nice cards. The cards don't have to be that big, really. If you want to play some on the map, I mean, you can do poker cards, but they don't have to be that big. The pieces should be, you know, nice to handle. Really nice things. So this one deserves a reprint. So I want to thank everybody here that showed up. Let's go back to our Japanese headquarters to accept the formal surrender here. Japan. Okay. So thanks everyone for showing up and watching this series. For me, it was a pleasure. Yes, because China went from... Yep. Oh, China didn't even have to... Yeah, we moved the Chinese back. We pushed the Chinese back, right? We couldn't push the British back. That's why. It's one of the most nail-biting States of Siege games. Definitely, this one is. That's why it's, for me. I can't explain why it hasn't been reprinted. There must be some issue or something. So I want to thank everybody. Thanks for showing up. It is 7:41, so we lasted a little bit over an hour here. And keep in touch. We're going to do more of these live playthroughs. I'm getting the hang of the buttons and thing, and maybe some of them we can have a guest playing the game and taking the loss and going to tell the Emperor, and I'm just the guy pushing the buttons. But it was a lot of fun, and yes, 10 cards in, we were defeated. So I'll be seeing you soon in another live stream. Take care, everybody. This is Stuka Joe, signing off for now. Thanks for watching.